Computer hardware maker HP Enterprise joining the rush to artificial intelligence. In earnings announced this week, HPE saying it expects softer demand for servers and storage, but it's hoping its new AI venture will offset the slowdown. The plan including a bigger partnership with chip giant Nvidia. Antonio Neri, the CEO of HPE, joining us from Barcelona, where he's been speaking to customers. Antonio, great to catch up with you, sir. Let's start with that relationship with Nvidia. For our audience who aren't familiar with it, can you describe it to us and how beneficial it's going to be to both of you?
Yeah, well, good morning. Thanks for having me. As you see, we are in Barcelona. There's still a show going on. We hosted HP Discover here with more than 3,000 customers. Thanks again for having the opportunity to talk to you. So here at Discover in Barcelona, we announced an expanded partnership with Nvidia. 2 weeks ago at the supercomputer event in Denver, we announced a deep solution for what we call model developers for generative AI, using our supercomputing capabilities, plus our intellectual property in the software space, plus NVIDIA chipsets, and other aspects of what they do to provide a massive capability for model developers to speed up the training models. And here on Thursday, I announced an extension of the partnership for enterprise customers to what we call fine-tune those models and accelerate time to value, using our expertise as well as our services capabilities and the software to be able to deploy it on premises and at the edge. So this is a complete solution for what we call the AI lifecycle, from training to tuning to inferencing. And customer has a massive reception because they want to privately fine-tune the models with their data in a secure and compliant way.
It's clear your stock is benefiting from the glow of Nvidia. We can see that. I think Raymond James writing that you're getting a seat at the AI table. Can you talk to us about the pace of adoption of this technology? I think many of us, Antonio, are surprised by some of the guidance we had repeatedly from Nvidia, that this wasn't just a hopeful story about the future, it was real and present. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. Well, I think there's two components, right? So the story is absolutely real. We see it in the quality of the dialogues with customers, which are now accelerating the mobile training. So you think about this, at the beginning of 2023, we had less than $100 million, what I call accelerator processing units in our server business. At the end of 2023, we grew that business to $3.6 billion in orders. And that was literally in 10 months. And the reason why that's happened is because the technology has achieved an inflection point where it's ready to be deployed. However, our story is not just AI, just to be clear, Jonathan, Lisa. Our story is a combination of a hybrid cloud, a cloud-native world, and an AI-native world. Think about it this way. Most of our data today sits in the cloud-native world, whether it's in your premise, in manufacturing floors, in hospitals, and obviously in the public cloud. But AI needs that data, is hungry for that data, and therefore now we need an AI-native architecture to train and fine-tune these models with that data and then put it in production, which ultimately is the value to change your processes and be able to achieve those outcomes. And we deliver all of that to our HP GreenLake platform. And that's why we see a tremendous growth in our connectivity business, in our hybrid cloud business, and then obviously now in AI. And we have a unique portfolio to address all aspects of what customers need.
Antonio, this year we've been talking to so many people who talk about a winner-takes-all type of trend in tech in particular. Amazon's AWS, Microsoft's Azure taking an increasing part of the market share. How do you compete at a time where people seem to be gravitating toward the biggest players?
Well, there is an interesting opportunity here because obviously the last decade, think about 2010 to 2020, was all about the cloud decade. You know, the cloud for us is an experience, is for accelerate speed and agility across the business. And now we enter what I call the new age of insights. And it's all about deriving insights from the data and changing the way you do business. But that inflection point actually requires a different architecture. And therefore, customers are not keen to put the public data, the data in the public domain, and make sure that they control that, because that's the intellectual property. And that creates a massive opportunity for us. And we think of HP GreenLake as the fourth cloud. It's a design for hybrid, meaning you can take advantage of the public cloud, but also take advantage of the on-premises and more at the edge, and be able to do everything you need in a unified experience. And that's the value that we bring to the table. And ultimately, we have every aspect of the solution stack and the partnerships, like we did this week with Nvidia, to give that unified experience.
We've been hearing all about consolidation in big tech. How much are some of the biggest cloud providers trying to get into that market, where it's basically the hybrid, trying to have bespoke solutions for companies versus having the market to yourself?
I mean, the market is big. I think, we're talking about over $1 trillion market opportunity from an IT perspective. And I believe AI opens an incremental $1.6 trillion opportunity for everyone. So there is plenty of market out there. And you think about us as a company, this year we grew 5.5% in revenue. We expanded gross margin very rapidly thanks to the mix and the value we bring to the table. We achieved record-breaking performance in non-GAAP, diluted net income per share, and free cash flow. And we believe there's plenty of runway here. But ultimately, the winner is about all delivering a simple experience where technology is easy to deploy and consume, and ultimately accelerate business outcomes. It's not just about thinking about technology and speeds and feeds. It's about delivering that agility to deliver those business outcomes. I think HP is uniquely positioned with the fourth cloud, I call it, HP GreenLake.
Too much tech. Let's finish on football. Are you happy that Messi is no longer in Barcelona and we have him here in America now, Antonio?
Well, I'm happy that Messi is Argentinian, and I was born in Argentina, and I had the honor and pleasure to meet both of them. In fact, I was able to play one time again with Diego Maradona, and I have to say, for us, it's an incredible pride. But obviously, having him in the United States gives me the opportunity to go watch him more often.
Amazing. I want to hear that Maradona story one day. Antonio, thank you. Antonio Neri there.
Thank you for having me.
Hewlett Packard, thank you, sir, on the latest.